Welcome to Fast Track Gains. I'm here to help you accelerate your gains. This is the 13th episode of my fourth series, 10 Fitness Commandments, and part 2 of the 10th commandment, 10 accessories. So in part 1, I have presented 10 recommended exercises. They were all chosen at my late intermediate phase back in November 2023 and based on Power Rack home gym environment. Fast forward a year and a half to now, I've been training in one of the best commercial gyms in town and have reached the advanced phase. Remember, all the original 10 accessories are only free weight and cable exercises. Can they still hold up their value against all the fancy machines and stand the test at the advanced phase? That's the question I am going to answer in part 2. But before I re-examine the 10 accessories, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. It takes less than a second, costs you nothing, and will help me a great deal in delivering the most efficient muscle building knowledge to the whole world. Really appreciate your support. Now, back to my video. Are the original 10 accessories still the best choice in their own category? Face pull. This exercise will always have its unique place in your programming, as strengthening your rotator cuff is never a bad idea. But I do think that just as it is important to not underestimate the value of this exercise, it is also important to not overestimate the value of this exercise. Shoulder health is a much more complicated topic than a few sets of face pulls can address. The proper warm-up, the rotation function, the joint instability, the overhead pressing pattern, the pull to push ratio, the internal rotation versus external rotation. Yes, doing face pulls will help you better maintain your shoulder health, but do not expect that you can bulletproof your shoulder health by only doing face pulls. Hammer curls. This is not only the overall best bicep exercise, but also the only bicep exercise most people should do by my estimation. As I've already mentioned in my previous episode, training like Arnold is killing your gains. There are quite a few drawbacks to prioritize your bicep training. Number 1, they don't have a big influence on your overall physique when they're not flexed. Number 2, they will very likely cause shoulder pain. Number 3, they will seriously hamper your back development. And number 4, they're never meant to be the primary mover in any movement, even in curls, as brachialis is the strongest elbow flexor. Based on all these drawbacks, the hammer curls will be the best curling option, as it encourages the brachialis to be the primary mover and only uses bicep as a stabilizer, which is your body's preferred arrangement. But, realistically speaking, for most people, unless you only care about the aesthetics and don't give a hoot about the function and avoiding pains, direct bicep training is not a very good idea. And even if you want to somehow train them, please only do the hammer curls. Cable straight arm pull down. This exercise still has its own value, but if your gym has a pull-over machine, then the machine version will blow the cable version or the dumbbell version out of the water if you are advanced. Dorian Yates particularly likes the pull-over machine, and for a very good reason. It allows you to do the same movement, but you can use much heavier weight, do it in a much larger range of motion with a much better resistance profile. It is no exaggeration to say that if your gym does not have a pull-over machine, then it is not a very good gym. Single arm T-bar row. No matter how many different back machines your gym has, nothing can replace the single arm T-bar row when it comes to growing your lower lats. This exercise is even more unique when you're advanced, and it remains one of the only few free weight exercises I will do nowadays. That ought to tell you how unique this exercise is. The small downside is when you're rowing really heavy, your lower back will accumulate some fatigue. But with the unique benefit it offers, even at the advanced phase, my salute again to the great John Meadows. This is truly one of the most ingenious exercise inventions there is. Cable rows. This exercise is probably the simplest, but also the greatest back exercise. And that's the beauty of cable rows. It can stand toe to toe against any fancy machines and really cannot be replaced by any other exercises. That's why, if you look at history, every great back has done tons of cable rows. If there's only one back exercise I can do, it will be cable rows, not even the pull-ups. The importance of cable rows should be on the same level as the big three. I really cannot praise enough of this exercise. Cable tricep exercises. They will still be very important at the advanced phase, but for an entirely different reason: joint protection. As you will be even stronger as an advanced, protecting your shoulder and elbow joint will be the number one priority in your tricep training. And as I've already mentioned in my previous episode, Achilles heel, connective tissue part 2. Switching to cable-based exercises is a good way to protect your joints. So, although machine dips and machine French press are more likely the heavy hitters, cable tricep exercises are still important for the advanced. And they might be the only accessory that is important regardless of whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced. Side lateral raises. This accessory will be even more important at the advanced phase for exactly the same reason: location of the muscle. As an advanced, you have already tapped into all the major muscle groups to maximize your width development, and the final reserve of the extra width from your side delts, no matter how insignificant it used to be, it will be significant now. And as mentioned before, there's really no other way to target this muscle effectively beside the good old-fashioned lateral raises. So, although this is the most trivial accessory, you probably have to do more of it as an advanced because, once again, location is everything. Hanging leg raises. This accessory is still quite important at the advanced phase, but there are a few things I want to mention about ab training at the advanced phase. Number 1, core strength is important, but don't be obsessed with clearly defined abs if you still want to grow more muscle, because bulking is absolutely required and you have to sacrifice your midsection definition to get bigger. Number 2, try to add more weight to this exercise by holding a dumbbell between your legs if you can to increase the difficulty of this exercise. And number 3, if you want to challenge the most difficult version of ab exercises, try standing ab wheel rolling. This one is the king of all ab exercises. Extremely difficult, but if you can pull it off, then you are going to shock the crowd. Romanian deadlift. In the existence of machine setups, this exercise will give way to machines. Although the Romanian deadlift is a much safer hinge variation compared to the traditional deadlift, it still is a compression-based exercise and accumulates a lot of fatigue. In comparison, the glute ham raise, reverse hypers, and hyperextensions are all traction-based exercises. Not only do they build your posterior chain muscles, they also do it in a restorative manner by releasing the compression accumulated in your lower back whilst not accumulating so much fatigue. And this is especially important because, as I mentioned in the 5th commandment, 5 vulnerables, your lower back will most likely be the limiting factor to curb your training capacity. And if you don't tip your lower back training more towards traction-based movements, your recovery will be severely hampered. So, once again, if your gym does not have the machines listed above, the glute ham raise, the reverse hypers, or the hyperextensions, then Consider it as a not good enough gym. Farmer's walk. To be honest, I have not done any kind of farmer's walk since I have been training in the commercial gym. It is still an amazing total body exercise and has the highest transferable benefit to daily applications. But at the advanced phase, this exercise has turned out to be sort of a jack of all trades, master of none choice. Yes, it trains a lot of your muscle groups, but it does not train any muscle group particularly well. Yes, you can use this exercise to increase your strength, but there are more specific exercises to increase your strength, namely the big three. Yes, it can help you increase your grip strength, but at the advanced phase, you should be using straps to deal with grip issues instead of doing farmer's walks. Yes, it can increase your cardiovascular fitness, but dedicated cardio training can do even a better job. So, although farmer's walk is still the most accessible accessory, at the advanced phase, where almost everything has to be done for a very specific purpose, its well-rounded nature has turned out to be its biggest drawback. Unless you want to participate in strongman competition, there is no particular reason to use this exercise to grow muscles at the advanced phase. Alright, a quick summary regarding the upgrade of these commandments. In the existence of machines, most of the original 10 accessories will face a degree of challenge. Some of cable-based exercises will stay, and some freeweight movements will defer to machines. This upgrade is a good illustration of my previous episode, Free weights versus cables versus machines, advanced hypertrophy. Why as an advanced trainee, you should center your training around cables and machines and put heavy freeweight compounds at the back burner. Because in addition to the snail-paced speed of strength progress, you need to show some respect to the amount of weight you can lift. You don't want to get injured by lifting heavy free weights. You don't want to accumulate too much fatigue by lifting heavy free weights. And you don't want to decrease your training volume by lifting heavy free weights. That's why when you have graduated from beginner phase, you need to start remembering this. No matter how glorious basic compound movements are, those shells need the refinement of all the 10 accessories. And that will officially wrap up my whole 10 Fitness Commandments series. To anyone who has watched the whole series and tolerated my boring presentation, I want to express my sincere appreciation to all you guys. I have the absolute confidence to say that this system will work for a lot of people. And if you have any questions regarding any commandment of this system, please leave them in the comment section and I will be happy to answer all your questions. Thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.